Okay. Hello, everybody. I want to welcome everyone to my third podcast, actually. So I am blessed to be able to do this. It's just something that came to my heart, and I just want to share some experiences with some of my friends and some people that I know have some great stories to tell, and just some things that can inspire and encourage people is really what I'm trying to do with a lot of these podcasts. So today we have. Dr. Thad Jones. So, Thad, just wanted to thank you for being here. I'm getting my script here together, and I just want to make sure that I get all this right. So, like I said earlier, Thad, I do a little background check on my guests just to see, not a background check like that, but a little, background information so I know that I am on the right track. So, I'm gonna go from what I've got here. So, our guest today is I'm gonna say it, a Kansas City legend whose impact spans education, finance, ministry, and community service. So today we have Dr. Thad Jones. He's the president of Western Baptist Bible College, a former CEO of Community America Credit Union, a deacon in the Eastside Baptist Church, and a dedicated leader at the National Baptist Layman Movement. So welcome, Thad, to the show.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to be able to come on and to share with you. And most of all, I thank you for your friendship for throughout these years. And it's been very valuable to me and my wife, Sandra. And one of the things that I think I want your audience to know that if I ever need help, all I got to do is just jot around the corner and I would have help. Uh, uh, People here listening to us might not realize, but we live here in Raytown, Missouri, and you're just right around the corner.
Yes, sir. Yes, you're exactly right about that. Like I tell you all the time, I can run over to your house quicker than I can jump in my car and drive there. So that's
All
always a
right.
blessing. Hey, and one thing I want to not forget that you are also a proud graduate of Central High School, which many say is the greatest class in Missouri of all time. So
Well, the class of 71 is a great class. And again, that was one of the great times in Central High School history from the 1960s into the early to mid 70s. And so I'm very pleased that we have a great class. We have continued to meet over the years. As a matter of fact, I was the 10-year, our first reunion chairman of the 10-year. I was the chairman of the 30-year, and I was the chairman of the 35-year class reunions. And we had a great time. And so we continue to stay in touch. We have a great group that keeps all of us together, keeps things moving. And so it's just good to be able to come back together. As many of your audience may know, your high school years are the greatest years of your life. And it always amazes me. We've only been together 4 years,
yeah.
but they have been lifetime relationships. And whenever you come back together, it's just like you never skipped a beat, you never missed anything. So those was our formative years. That's when we came of age. We came into maturity. We were moving into adulthood.
Yeah.
And I think many of us will probably consider our high school years our greatest years.
Yeah, yeah. I remember Central, back when I was a young kid, there used to be a guy I used to like to run track. I believe his name was Marvin Foster, something like
Yep.
that. He was a,
I knew Marvin. He was the class of 1969,
yeah.
and so I had an opportunity to spend some years with him. And then he went on to be a star football player at the University of Kansas,
Wow. Yeah.
and we continue to stay in touch. And even after our college years, we got together off and on doing some things. So he was a great, fantastic athlete. He's
Yeah.
deceased now,
Oh, okay.
and but he was a great athlete in Central's history, and then he went on to the University of Kansas. I think they had a great star quarterback called David James,
Yeah.
and Marvin Foster was one of his favorite targets.
Wow, amazing. Yeah, I definitely remember him coming to one of our track meets when we was in the ninth grade or something like that, and everybody was talking about him. But yeah, amazing. So let's try something different here, Thad. So let's talk about your business background. So what led you to Community America? I mean, did you like start there like as a I don't know whatever as another role? I didn't know how you elevated up to the CEO of a credit
Okay,
union.
first of all, let me say that uh, it's Midwest Regional Credit Union,
Okay, okay,
uh, which is the 10th largest credit union here in the Kansas City metro area.
okay.
And I may not have made you aware of it, and this might be breaking news for your audience, but I'm retired as of May 16th.
Oh boy.
So I'm into my third week of retirement,
Yeah.
and it feels very awkward for me adjusting to
Yeah.
retired life.
Hmm.
Uh, but that's was my dream was to be a business person. When I was a little boy growing up in the hood and the ghetto and everything, and I
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
saw these business men and they wore suits and they went to the office, they had briefcase and everything, and that had always been a desire of mine.
Yeah.
So I matriculated through high school, went
Hmm.
on to William Jewell College. I
Right.
majored in business administration
Hmm.
and accounting, received my undergraduate degree,
Yeah.
and I went to go to work with a company called Kansas Structural Steel,
Mm.
where I worked in the summer
Yeah.
and was able to support myself and my education there in their summer program. And their summer program was supposed to turn people back into the company, once they
Uh-huh.
finished their.
Yeah.
Well, I happened to be not only the very first, but the only person in this program that was probably a 5, 6, 7 year program that came back and worked for Kansas Structural Steel in Argentine, Kansas.
Amazing.
And I stayed there until 1984. Uh, I started out as a junior accountant. Again,
Hmm.
my background is accounting. I don't have a CPA, but again,
Right.
I'm an accountant. I started out as a junior accountant, a staff accountant, and moved up to cost accounting,
Wow.
and moved up to the head of that accounting department
Uh-huh.
there. Uh, they had a merger. Then I went to go work for a company called Murphy Industries
Hmm.
that was in North Kansas City in the Rock Creek office
Yeah.
uh, 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 buildings up there across from North Kansas City Hospital.
Mhm.
I came there as the cost accountant, moved there to become the accounting manager, uh, and then moved in from accounting manager to the controller.
Yeah.
Uh, they merged with a company in Detroit called Electrowire.
Mm.
Uh, Out of all the people that was in the Kansas City office in this merger, I went to Detroit for about a year working for
Wow.
them over their plants again as the controller for the quote unquote Murphy Industries slash Electrowire a company or department.
Wow.
And then I went to go work for after a year. House didn't sell here in Kansas City. This is about 1987.
Uh-huh.
I decided to come back home. Now you're going to ask me about my faith, but let me
Yep.
just share this experience with you how I came back to Kansas City. Again, my family stayed here
Uh-huh.
in Kansas City. Why? On Mondays, I fly to Detroit, spend there all week, come back on Friday, Saturday, then turn around. And that did lasted for about 7 or 8 months, 9 months, almost a year.
Wow.
Well, the church did not really want the Jones family leaving Second Baptist Church of Independence, going to Detroit, and so they were praying against this move. Well, I came back, began to interview on weekends,
Uh-huh.
uh, and so after a number of weeks of interviewing, uh, I found a job, but I said I was not coming back to Kansas City unless I had a job.
Uh-huh.
Well, I kept praying and again kept interviewing. And then finally, here I have a young family, a young wife. and me being gone for 7 or 8 months, I told the Lord, I'm coming back regardless of whether I had a job.
Uh,
Well, as soon as I committed to the Lord that I'm coming back, I'm placing my faith in Him. I
well,
got a job out of a company in North Kansas City. And then not only that, and that was going to be making 4,000 less
mm.
than what I was making. But then another job came along offering me 4,000 more than what I was
Look at God.
currently making. Isn't
Hallelujah.
God good?
He is.
But that didn't occur. That did not happen until I said, I'm going to trust you, Lord.
Wow.
And not only did He give me one job, He gave me two jobs. I had committed, and this is the only time I believe that I went back on my word, at least as far in my business career. I
Mm.
went back to this company where I told them I was going to come work for and said, hey, I'm not going to come work for you. I went to go work for this other company. And so until you really put your faith and trust in God, you
Wow.
won't be
Yes,
able to
sir.
maybe receive some of the blessings He has in store for me. So I came back to Kansas City,
Man.
worked for a company out in Stanley, Kansas, Monroe City, Missouri,
Uh,
called Kuhlman Die Casting, Kuhlman.
mm.
They basically made automobile products to the automobile market. I worked for them until they filed for bankruptcy,
Mm.
and then I came and was out of work for about a year.
Wow.
Didn't I wasn't really ready to go back to work.
Yeah.
And then finally, about September of 1990, 1991, somewhere in there, the kids was going back to school, and I said to myself, I need to start going back to work. So I got back to interviewing, and then I ended up working for Midwest Regional Credit Union as their controller.
You know, I always, not
Uh,
to cut you off, but I wonder what a controller did. I was like, that controller, what exactly is that?
Okay, it's a financial position,
Mm.
and that's the person that will be the head over the accounting department,
Uh-huh.
also possibly the IT. My responsibility was over the accounting department and the IT.
Okay.
Uh, and we eventually, this was 1992, March
Okay.
of 1990. And then we went and they moved me from the controller to the vice president of
Hmm.
finance, of accounting, or the CFO for the
Amazing.
company. And so 33 years later, uh, as a matter of fact, not necessarily 33 years, but in 2014, the CEO retired. I interviewed with the board of directors for it. They allowed me to become the CEO of Midwest Regional Credit Union. And
Amazing.
from 2014 to 2025,
Hmm.
about 11 years, I've served as the president and CEO of Midwest Regional Credit Union. So that's a little bit of my background, my story. Again, my background
Wow.
is in business administration. The Lord
Yeah.
blessed me to become a businessman, to go into
Yeah.
an office.
Yeah.
I wore a tie practically every day except for casual day.
Yeah.
And that was my dream as a little boy,
Wow.
looking at the world.
Yeah.
And so that's my story.
Amazing. You know, I almost thought you was gonna have on the suit and tie today, Thad. I was really gonna text you and say, Thad, don't, you ain't gotta wear no tie or nothing today, man.
Okay.
So that's a good thing. So yeah, you covered one of my questions about faith. Just a couple more real quick about the job. One of the most rewarding things you think you did in the financial sector, and what do you think about the financial literacy within our community, if you will, and the equity that goes along with the financial portion of our lives?
Well, let me first of all speak to our culture uh, and what I have experienced and witnessed over the years. One is our culture is very secretive and they hold close to the vest about their finances.
Hmm.
You won't find very many people talk about their finances,
Hmm.
even though that, as you use this word literacy, I think is very important for our culture because first of all, we didn't get started when the predominant culture got started. They've been in business for years. They've been managing finances for years. And then probably after segregation, after
Mhm.
Jim Crow and those things, and we were able to move into areas, and we may not have necessarily handled our finances the best that we could. One,
Yes,
we didn't
sir.
have a whole lot to handle. Most
Yeah.
of us probably live from paycheck to paycheck,
Hmm.
provided for our families
Right.
and things like that. But I believe that there is a great need for financial literacy. We did some of it, not a whole lot, as the CEO of Midwest Regional Credit Union,
Hmm.
going into the schools,
Hmm.
teaching some financial literacies, going to career days, and those types of things. So I think it's very needed in the church. But I believe our culture, when you go into, especially our churches, you'll find that especially men, they don't want to talk a lot and share a lot about their finances.
Yeah.
But it's very important for, I believe, our families and our communities that now I think we are in a position to where we can own our own businesses.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're in a position now to probably have stocks and bonds and mutual funds and 401ks and
Hmm.
all those types of things. So I
Hmm.
think it's very important so that we can better manage our finances.
Great. Great answer, Thad. I appreciate you. I really do. So, I teased you a little while back about cryptocurrency. Did you ever get crypto going at Midwest before you left? Did they ever?
No, as a matter of fact, credit unions are not allowed
Oh, okay.
to get into crypto. But I've have had a number of questions about crypto over the years.
Yeah.
And what I share with people, and I said, if you don't understand it, stay away from it. And
Hmm.
until this current administration, the federal government
Right.
did not get into crypto. Okay.
Right.
And that's a very broad topic as far as the types of cryptocurrency.
Yes, sir.
And as you know, that it is very volatile. It
Hmm.
goes up. And so if you don't understand it, stick with what you do understand. Now, that's something that's probably going to come
Hmm.
in the future
Yeah.
to where that not only will we not have checks and we won't have debit cards and all these types of things, that we'll be able to transact business and pay our bills and take care of things through crypto. But
Yeah.
at this particular time, no.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
would urge people, if you don't understand it, stay away from it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of professional people that don't quite understand
Right.
how it moves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I dab in it a little bit. It's tricky. Believe me, it's tricky at best, and you got to really pay attention to it. Well, thank you, Thad. That's it for that one particular section, if you will. So I want to talk to you now a little bit about you kind of talked about your education at William Jewell and stuff like that. I want to talk to you a little bit about how your opportunity at Western Baptist Bible College came about.
Oh my goodness, that's a very interesting story. Um, it started back in the mid 1980s. The late Dr. William Singleton Sr. was a president.
Hmm.
My involvement with Western probably was through the summer program through the state WMU to where they
Hmm.
would have an encampment there every summer.
Hmm.
And so I got familiar with Western there. And of course, I got involved with the state convention.
Okay.
And we would hear reports about Western all the time. And uh, so I got involved as to probably starting out having just a seminar class for a men's ministry or for deacons or something like that. And then the way that it operated and still does today, uh, for the board of trustees,
Hmm.
every auxiliary was represented on the
Yeah.
board of trustees of the Missionary Baptist State Convention of Missouri.
Uh-huh.
Well, the president of the layman's department, Mr. Ernest Johnson, who's deceased now, could not make a meeting here in
Mm.
Kansas City, and he asked if I would go in his stead.
Mm.
Well, my goodness, I went in his stead. Dr. Gerald Shealy was the chairman at that time, former pastor of the Pleasant Green Baptist Church there on 30th and Benton.
Hmm.
And I went in there and I opened my big mouth. And when I did that, all the trustees said, we ought to put him on the board. And I became a board member
Wow.
of Western Baptist Bible College. And
Amazing.
then as the years had progressed, about 1990, 1991, Dr. Singleton retired.
Uh-huh.
And so they asked if I would become the interim president.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness. And so I became the interim president, and I had served two stints as an interim from 1990 to about 2002.
Wow.
And uh, I learned a very valuable lesson about being involved in our religious organizations and missing and making meetings. I was always going to the Missionary Baptist State Convention meetings. There's those three meetings a year:
Uh-huh.
winter, Congress, annual session. Well, this particular annual session in 2002, I can't remember why, but I didn't go.
Hmm.
And that following Sunday after the convention, the late pastor Samuel Nero, who was my pastor of Second Baptist Independence, came back and from the pulpit
Hmm.
told the congregation, he says, Second Baptist members, brothers and sisters, he pointed to me. I said, you're looking at the new permanent president of the Western Baptist Bible College.
Amazing.
Oh my goodness, my mouth hit the floor.
I bet.
Uh, and so that's how I got started with Western Baptist Bible College and became the permanent president. So here's a valuable lesson I learned.
Uh-huh.
Don't ever miss a meeting.
Thank you, Thad. I appreciate that. You know, for some reason, I'm having a little trouble with my time left on my meeting. I thought I set it for an hour and a half, but now it's saying I have 8 minutes left, and I know that can't be right. So I'm going to try to, if I start getting low, I might pause this meeting and
Okay.
start it right back up in a second. So, as a matter of fact, why not do that? So, I want to apologize to the audience who's going to be viewing this video. I'm going to pause this meeting and restart it there. Can we take a 3, 4 minute break and I'll get right back on? Okay.
Very good.
Thank you, Thad. I appreciate it. All right. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you.